This is Fantology.
You may have heard of us.
All right, I feel like we're all on the same page as fantasy book readers, eagerly awaiting the next installment from the Cosmere from Brandon, because it's been just a little bit since Rhythm of War, and that itch is starting to need a little bit of scratching, right? So the Lost Metal is here, fortunately. It will be here in just a couple of weeks, and thanks to Tor, it's here already for me in the form of an arc. So no spoilers here in this video. I promise I will not do any big plot spoilers, really any spoilers of any kind. Just going to kind of give my general impressions of part one, and I'll do another video for part two, and then the whole Fantology crew will have to talk about the book once I'm finished. So leading up to this one, I've been doing an entire reread of the Mistborn books, which I've really enjoyed. They really held up well. And I was really concerned about that going into the reread because some of the books I haven't read for quite some time. I really like the original Mistborn trilogy. And then the Era 2, you know, Alloy of Law, Shadows of Self, they didn't really stand out for me. Like, they're decent books, but nothing special. And the second half of Bands of Mourning is really where Era 2 started to come into its own. And I feel like maybe that's a little bit of a shame that it took so long to get there, because there's a lot of potential in this world. It's a cool world as the technology kind of shifts into the modern era. And we get a lot more of that in The Lost Metal, at least through part one. So expected that theme to kind of carry over. Brandon has released a few of the chapters already, so you can go check those out. But without doing any spoilers, I'll just say that I think his writing has gotten a lot better since Bands of Mourning. It feels like things are happening a little bit more snappy. There's less cheese. I felt like there are lots of cool ideas in Era 2, but over all of the cool ideas, there's like this layer of cheesiness that I just kind of grit my teeth and go through. And at least through part one, like, it's not as bad in The Lost Metal. And the parts that are supposed to be funny are actually kind of funny. And so, I mean, I know some people really love Brandon's humor. It's kind of hit and miss for me, but there are some legitimately funny parts here. So part one is mostly kind of setting up the big inciting conflict of the book and, kind of getting into some bigger Cosmere things. Nothing too big has happened yet, as you'd expect through the first part, mostly kind of moving pieces around and getting you back into, previously on Scadrial, and here's the characters and here's who they are, etc. And I think this is all done really well. There's, kind of like the call to action. There's a little inciting event that happens that kind of tips us off onto the next big adventure. And I'm frankly pretty excited, and it's kind of hard to put down to record this right now because there's a big cliffhanger, big kind of reveal thing that happens at the end of part one that we've all been waiting on. I don't know, maybe you've been waiting on it, maybe you haven't, but I was personally hoping to get some concrete information on some of the mysteries from the previous books in Mistborn Era 2, and we have that now. So now I'm excited to see how this all shakes out. I guess I'd like to say more, but probably shouldn't on this review at least. So yeah, just kind of keep on following along, and then when we finish the entire book, we'll do a full review with spoilers and everything. And once the book's out, you can go check that out. But know that for now, I'm liking where part one is going. I think there's a lot of potential for this to be the strongest entry in Era 2, but obviously too soon to say because I'm still reading the book. All right, see you later.